Hello everyone, this is Greg from Mystery Honey. Today's inspections will be including probably a bit of grafting because I've been selling a lot of queens. Unfortunately not selling a lot of nukes, but as long as I'm selling some queens, I'm happy with that. I've got to go to the quarantine apiary because the landowner there saw a massive swarm fly off, so it's my job to go in there, find out which one swarmed, and knock down any queen cells I can find. It's too late in the season for me to be too worried about losing that swarm for my own honey production. I made sure that the swarm didn't land anywhere that was causing any trouble. So hopefully that'll go off and land somewhere, make a nice little home somewhere. So fingers crossed to it. But I'll go through my hives at the quarantine apiary and try and figure out which ones swarmed. Other than that, it's just normal inspections. I've got 4 hours to try and do it all in, so let's hope that I can manage it. Anyway, I'm going to get my suit on and get cracking. In a minute. So 2 weeks ago, I transferred a nucleus colony that was originally a swarm with one of the mated queens into this box. At that point, I found a dead queen. So the mated queen, the imported mated queen that I had, was unfortunately killed in the process of transferring them to this box. I'm unsure if it was to do with the stress of moving them, because I did make sure that she was alive when I put them in there, or if the bees just finally had enough. Like, she may have been moving over to drone lane, which we didn't know about. Anyway, that queen died. So I let them produce queen cells, and then I knocked them all down apart from one. What I'm going to do now is go in and see if that queen has emerged. And if she has, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if she's been mated and is started laying or not yet. This colony is of no size to produce honey for me, so I'm not expecting them to expand to a stage where they'll be producing me honey. The best I can hope for is that they will get to a size where they can fill in a hive. Oops. So they seem to be clumping quite a lot. So it's very dark today again. It's just this apiary's a very dark apiary. So I'm just going to have to use my torch. So this is full of nectar over here. It's got some pollen, some purple pollen as well. No eggs as of yet. The outside frame is just full of nectar, and they are just fixing up the comb because the comb looks like it's a bit old. So this has got a lot of nectar in it. Just looking for any eggs. If you see the virgin queen, I may mark her. But yeah, there's a lot of nectar coming in here. If I had another spare box, I'd put it on top so they could move it up. Is this the one with the queen cell? No. So the next one along is the one with the queen cell. So yeah, there's no eggs yet. What I have just noticed is that just here, they have got the starting to a queen cell, but it is empty. So yeah, it's nothing in it, so it's fine. Queen cup. You need to be careful because when you're looking at a nuke and you don't know whether the queen is mated or not, or you don't know where the queen is, if you see queen cells and you know that there's been a virgin queen that's gone off to get mated, it could be that she's got lost and died, and the bees, in their desperation, are using any larvae that's left or anything they can find to produce queen cells. Unfortunately, if the virgin queen has flown off, they will be hopelessly queenless. Right, let's have a look at this frame which had the queen cell on. The queen cell was on this side, and I can still see it. So the queen cell is right there. You can see. So the queen has emerged. It looks like they've already started tearing down the cell. So that means that they've got things to do, people to see. They want to use the cells that are underneath it for probably storing nectar from the looks of it. This has been quite a strong summer flow. I'm surprised by it, to be honest. Started off very crap at the beginning of the year, and then it's just got better and better. My honey pull, or the day I'm going to do my honey pull, is next week. Oop, falling over. So next weekend is the honey pull. I'm debating knocking it back by an extra week just to see if I can get any more honey, but unfortunately, we've already got plans on all the other weekends, and I just can't fit it in. So I'm going to have to do the honey pull next week. Love it or hate it, and we'll see what happens. So yeah, there's no eggs in that one. My guess is that the queen is still trying to get mated. Every single one of these combs has nectar in it, so all of these cells are full with nectar. So I think I'm going to have to try and see if I can find an extra box to put on top of this, just so they've got somewhere to put that nectar. Otherwise the queen's going to come back and she's going to be honey bound. That's where trouble starts. Okay. So to my luck, I found another box. Oh, I need to build some more of these, to be honest. So I don't have the time. But I found another box and it's full of foundation, fresh foundation, so that should keep the bees busy while the queen goes off and mates. And to be honest, in this configuration and at this stage in our flow, I think I might actually keep them in this to overwinter. So there you are. So this one was a newly mated queen a couple of weeks ago. I guess just gave them another super and hope for the best. It was a pretty minging super, so I wasn't expecting much. Let's see if they've moved up. I can see some bees up here. That's good. I'm not expecting them to produce any honey per se. I think that what they'll do is just start making stuff ready for winter. And then hopefully they'll produce enough honey for winter that I don't have to feed them. It's the benefit of late mated queens like this. If you just leave them to it in the double brood box, they'll just sort themselves out ready for winter. You don't have to worry about it. But this brood box looks like it's quite full. So what I might do is I might take this brood box off, put the super underneath it like I have been doing, to try and encourage them into the super, to try and use that and clean it up a bit better. But yeah, so I don't know if you can see that, but that is a massive frame of cap brood. And the other sides have got the same as well, so that's amazing. So this queen's doing great. The bees aren't particularly jumpy at me. Maybe one or two, I don't know. But they're not bothering me too much. So that's a pretty cool frame. So the queen's definitely moved up here. She's definitely filling it. And if you look at that, that's the top of the brood area. There'll be an equal space or semicircle in the bottom box as well. So that is quite a lot of bees going to be turning out soon. I'm going to leave the super in where it is, to be honest. They'll just move up when they need to move up. I think she should be fine. I think she'll go through winter quite well, just as this double brood box configuration. Now is not the time that they'll be making winter bees. They'll be making winter bees at the end of August, beginning of September. So that's when you start doing your varroa treatments to get down the varroa. So it means that those winter bees come out and they're healthy and strong. So at this stage, these bees that are producing are just going to be foragers going out, and they're just going to be collecting the food ready for winter. So I won't be surprised if they filled this top box with honey and continued on the bottom box as the brood area. That would be fine. This being filled with honey would be enough food for them for winter, so that's pretty cool. I'm going to put the super on anyway, just to see if they need any extra space, because August, September is the time that they start thinking about swarming after the flow, because they like to complain about the flow ending and then they decide to go off. Ugh. Unfortunately, late-term swarms are not great unless they are prime swarms. And even then, they need a lot of feeding once you know that there's no disease in them. But I think these guys are doing all right. I don't think I need to go into the bottom box. I've got space. I've seen brood, and I've seen lots of food. So, right, next one. So this is a stingy hive. I half inspected it last week. When I don't think I filmed it actually, but yeah. It started filling the super in the middle, even though it was quite manky. This one at the top is completely full of honey now. I can't use it though because it was on when I used Formic Pro, so this honey is tainted unfortunately. But I can take it off and give it back to this hive when it's winter. So they've got some winter feed. I don't have to worry about them for feeding, so that's good. Oh, and it is absolutely jam-packed with honey. It's an absolute ton. They're doing a pretty good job. My gloves are broken again. These gloves are crap. Doing a good job of filling this up as well, these brood boxes. I think I'm not going to use her again for producing bees for nukes. Simply because she's kind of grumpy, and even though the bees that come out of the queens, once they're established, they're fine, lovely, nice and calm. To start with, these bees can be a bit stingy, so I just don't want to risk it. So I won't be producing any bees from her. She's going to be producing honey for me from in these boxes, and then yeah, leave her to it. She's doing all right though. She's doing great. Oh. And they've not been. I'm saying this now. They've not been so stingy recently. So maybe it was just early in the year. I don't know if I've already said this. So queens mate with a lot of different drones. And it's down to the drones where the aggressiveness comes from. So if it's a particularly aggressive hive that the drone has come from, the bees that are produced, these worker bees that are produced, will be particularly angry. And that's why sometimes you can have a really nice colony, lovely bees, and then suddenly they go like super angry and horrible. It's because the queen's slowly churning away through the sperm that she's got from all these different drones. And what that means is that she's got to that specific drone's worth of sperm and is particularly angry. So sometimes you can just wait it out, but a lot of the time it's just better just to requeen, just because you'll be burning through. Sorry, that just looks like I've just found a dead virgin. Mm-hmm. So I've just found what looks like a dead virgin queen. You can tell because of the point of her tail. Oops, she's gone. So that's interesting. That could mean that there could have been a queen selling these boxes here. I have checked them and I couldn't see any brood, so strange one. Oh well. Alright, let's shake these down. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so it's better sometimes just to replace the queen. Means you're not waiting around with stingy bees that, in essence, they stop you from enjoying the hobby. I've got a sting-proof suit and I still get stung. So if you replace the queen, then it'll calm down in a couple of weeks. Whereas if you leave it, it could take months and months and months, maybe the rest of the year before they start calming down, if they calm down. So, yeah. But as you can see, the bees are cleaning up this comb. They've already chopped through it. They were doing this last week as well. And I noticed that they were... So this was a really horrible super. It was gross. But as you can see there, they're already storing honey in it. They're doing a really good job of it as well. Yeah, so... Oh, this one's particularly heavy. Look at that. Wow. They're still... So they're storing honey here and they're still fixing it up here. Mad. Yeah. So there you are. Leave that super. So bees will always go to a super if it's directly attached to the brood box. They'd much prefer to go to this than one through a queen excluder. So if you're wanting a super to be drawn out or to be cleaned up, stick it straight on the brood box. Don't put a queen excluder on, and the bees will draw it out or clean it up super quick. Ugh. I find that if you put a queen excluder on, it slows down the process of drawing out. Oh, right. So again, seems to be a big collection of bees here. So I think this is where the brood area is. They seem to be ignoring this area over here. So yeah, I think this is the brood area, and over here is just being left by the wayside. Just need to break these frames up. So this colony is really good at producing propolis, and really strong propolis as well. Like some propolis you can just leave it away easily. Some bees really go for it when they're making up propolis, and this is one of those colonies. So look. What I might do is I might move the brood area a bit more central if I can. So that's just a piece of foundation that's been drawn out, it's storing honey in it. Okay, that's nectar and honey. Nectar and honey. So I'm interested to see if there's any queen cells, because the queen is getting old. She's a year old now, and queens tend to only live for 2 years. They can live up to 7 years if well mated and stuff, but a lot of the time they only live for 2ish years before the bees see them off. So this is all honey and nectar. That's another one. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 frames in the bottom that are honey and nectar. So that to me is worrying, because at this stage of the year, the queen should be absolutely filling this bottom box full of brood. So if she's feeling that she's getting claustrophobic, then that's when she could start producing queen cells. This is honey and nectar. Honey and nectar again. So that's 6 frames. So that's not what you want to see. So that's half of the frames are now honey and nectar. That's not what you want to see. You want to have the majority of this as brood at the moment. So this queen has either slowed down a lot or they've swarmed. And I still can't see any eggs. So I wonder if she's swarmed without me knowing. So I'm seeing some queen cells that have been torn down. So my thoughts are that they've swarmed. So if you see here, I only inspected this last week, but if you look here, must have been 2 queen cells that I missed, because they look like they've emerged, because they've got a hole in the bottom like that. Now if you look at the other side, that queen cell there has been torn down, because instead of a hole in the bottom, there's a hole in the side there. So that means that she's been stabbed by a stinger, and then they've torn away at the queen cell. So that means that this hive is swarmed. So that's annoying. I'm going to look for eggs just to see. So I'm not seeing any eggs at the moment. So chances are that there's a virgin queen running around in here. Oh, and if that's the case, I just have to leave them to it. It's easy enough when you do just quick inspections like I do sometimes to miss a swarm cell. But again, if you make a mistake, don't let it beat you up. Just learn from it and move on. So I'm going to try and do a thorough inspection on my hives. Okay. Someone mentioned the other day that if I'm running out of time to do full inspections, I should reduce the number of hives I've got. And you're absolutely right, I should. And I think I will be doing. I'm going to be ending this year, and then I think I'm going to be cutting down from, I think I've got 50 hives. 1, 2, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so I've got 50 hives at the moment, and I just don't have the time to inspect them all thoroughly. I just get a gist of some of them, and then I move on. And it's really not a good way of beekeeping. You should do thorough inspections in each hive. So next year I'm going to be reducing down, I think, by half if I can. And then I should have a lot more time to do it. Yeah, so this is completely broodless. Ugh. There's no eggs or anything. and there's nectar and honey everywhere. So the interesting thing is, I've only seen that frame with queen cells on. So I've not actually seen any other queen cells anywhere. So the chances are it could be a supersedure. It's not in the right place for a supersedure. Supersedures are usually like 1 or 2, and they're around the top a lot of the time, because they like to hide it from the queen most of the time. But yeah, so it could just be a supersedure cell, because I'm not seeing any queen cells yet. So there's a few more torn down cells here. So here, and here, they've been torn down. So there's been 2 queens that have been released, from what I can tell. It's a lovely frame. Yeah, so I can't see the virgin queen, but I'm not worried. It's quite hard to see virgin queens. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to return it to the way it was. Virgin queen should come back, and when she starts laying, she'll tell the bees to budge the honey out of the way. There's plenty of space for them to do so. So that's what we'll do. I'm disappointed that I've missed this swarm. I did inspect her last week. Granted, I went up to about halfway point here, and it's all seemed fine, and all the queen cells are here. So that shows that you should really do full inspections. I tend to get about halfway, and if I'm not seeing anything worrying, like there's no swarm cells, and they've got space, and they've got food, and stuff like that, I usually go, okay, so I think they're okay. I've got a good judge. They've got extra space with this super over the top of them, so they've got more space than they need. The chance of them swarming that situation is low, but unfortunately, I think that this colony, I don't think it has swarmed actually, just because of the amount of bees that there are. They had the same amount of bees last week, so I think it was a supersedure cell. So I think what they've done is they've killed the queen off, and they've released a virgin queen, maybe 2 of them. But yeah, I'm not super sad about it, because that queen wasn't particularly nice. So we'll see what this new one brings. I'll give them a couple of weeks, and then I'll inspect again. Oops. Oh. Watch out, bees. Watch out. I'll still keep this queen excluder on, just because I want to make sure that these 2... maybe I guess this one needs cleaning up still, so I'm going to leave this on. But I need to... come on, watch out. I want to make sure that there's no brood in these boxes. It's interesting that I saw the virgin queen on the queen excluder, because that could mean that the virgin queen came up and got stuck up here, and then when she tries to get down, she couldn't get down. So we may have an issue in that there could be no virgin queen in here, because I just found her dead. And if there's no virgin queen, then this colony is hopelessly queenless. Fortunately, I've got a load of queens, and I'm going to be doing some queen rearing today. So if I come back in 2 weeks and there's still nothing, I'll put a tester frame in there, so it's a frame of eggs. And if they start making queen cells, I'll pop one of these queens in. And then they've got a nice queen in there to start next year off with. Oh, that's a heavy box. Right. Need to go get some fresh gloves. So these nukes to the side of me, I took the queen out yesterday, so not yesterday, on Friday, and it's Sunday today, so 2 days. So I'm going to leave them for a few more days for a check for any queen cells in there, so I can knock them down. And this is one of my queens from last year. She's done amazing all year round, and they were running out of space yet again. So yeah, really I should have put this colony in a hive, a full-size hive, but I knocked it down so much at the beginning of the year because of wanting bees and brood for my nukes that I didn't think that she'd get very far. This just astounded me each time. So I'm going to do a full inspection of her. So what I'm going to do is start from the bottom box and work your way up. So break this one. I may not like it because I'm destroying their brood area. That is full of honey. That feels so full of honey. It's ridiculous. That should be the brood area. Yeah, it feels much lighter. And this should be the brood area as well. So what I'm expecting to see in this bottom box is a lot of nectar and maybe some eggs. I'm expecting the majority of the brood area to be in the middle box, but we'll have to see. If the majority of the brood area is in the bottom box, that means that they are running out of space. So this is a very light frame, so it's got nectar in it, like I said it would. No eggs in it yet, so I'm going to put that up there for now. Another thing that I could find is queen cells as well. So I didn't do a thorough inspection of this one either last week. They weren't filling that top box as full. So I'm surprised by that. So some capped brood here with nectar in between. Some larvae. Can't see any eggs yet. So again, you don't have to find the queen as long as you see eggs. I found some eggs. There's a few eggs there, so that's good. So I found brood, loads of nectar. And that top box there is absolutely jam-packed with honey, so that's food. Now what they're needing, I think, is space. They've filled that top box with honey. This is full of brood and nectar. Yes, there's a lot of eggs down here. And a lot of larvae. So this is freshly emerging brood, I think, so that's why she's come down here. But I think what that means is they are running out of space. So what I might do is, I've got one of these, I've not got many of these boxes left. I need to invest in some of these this winter. These Maze More brood ones. So what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to put another one of them on top of this. So she's got loads of space, just suddenly. See if I can see the old girl now. So the foraging bees are coming back, just spitting out all the nectar that they can in these frames, and then flying off straight away. And it looks like the bees back here at home are struggling to keep up. So if I put a box on next here, it means that she's got a whole new area to lay in. And means when I go into this box, if the brood area is in here, I'm guessing she's in here as well. It means that she'll have more space for the bees that are sorting the nectar to bring it up top and turn it into honey. So I could end up with 2 of these full of honey, which is cool. That's like 2 of these equals 1 whole brood box. So that's about 20 kilograms. That's pretty good. Anyway, let's get into the box. Right, so this box has some nasty frames in it. Yeah, some dead frames from a dead out. Actually, I think that's from a drone laying queen that I shook out. So they'll go in there, they'll clean those cells up, and then she'll start laying. So that's good. Right, I'll put this box on, we'll have a look inside this one as well. Oh, this is a bit heavier. May have a bit of honey in it. So the problem with doing these, making these massive towers of nukes, is at some point they become taller than you. and it's more efficient to just use a normal brood box. So unfortunately, I've run out of space. I don't have space to put her in a hive. All my hive stands seem to be full at the moment, and she's too big to move anywhere big. So if I was going to move her, I'd have to find her in this nuke box and break her up. So this is just a frame of, this is a lovely frame of capped brood. Stunning frame. See if I can see her. Oh. Monkey down here, just for now. Right, so look. So I can see that there's already a lot of capped brood in this. Another one full of capped brood. Both sides. Smoking myself out. Oh. Don't know if you notice though, these guys are lovely. There's some lovely bees. More capped brood. So this is dying to just explode, but there's just no space for it. Let's hope this extra brood area will give them will give them the space that they need. What I may do is do the opposite of what I usually do, where when it comes to winter, any small colonies, I just shake them out in front of another colony. Or I shrink them down into a nuke box from a hive if they're very small. It's very rare for me to increase the space for a colony before winter, but I may have to do that with this one, just because she doesn't look like she's trying to stop or slow down for making bees. Another frame of capped brood. It's freshly emerging though, so the queen could be on here. I just can't see very well because it's very, very dark. Seems to be a sheen on my veil. I can't see it. I'm not expecting to see it. I found loads of eggs, so I don't have to worry about it too much. Oh, this is full of honey. Wow. And the other side has loads of capped brood. So this queen is doing really well. I knew she would. She was one of the best from last season. Oh. Let's pull this back gently. And this top box is just full of honey, probably. I'm not expecting anything more than that. So we'll see. Where's the smoker? See if I can smoke him down. Yeah, smoke him down a bit. So I'm just expecting to see honey in this one. The only thing is that it's as tall as me, so that's the annoying thing. So I've got to be very careful because there's a lot of bees up here. And if it's full of honey, which I may be pilfering, I do not want to smoke it. Oh my god, that's absolutely full of honey. That is so full of honey. Wowee. Right, and the ones either side of it are full of honey as well. Right, I'm just going to drop that back in. So there's no queen cells. They've got lots of food. I've seen the brood. And because I've added that brood box, they've got lots of space. So this colony should be fine now. Let's hope that they clean up and start using that new box ASAP. So all of these colonies on this side, I think, this one hasn't. So this one's still got a queen in it somewhere. This still has a queen in it, I think. Yep. So these three still have queens in, and that one does, but this one doesn't, and the one over here doesn't as well. So I've still got 3 queens available. That's good. But I did a little. So I joined these 2 colonies together. When I removed the queen, joined these 2 colonies together to try and prevent this one from making queen cells. It's a good way of just keeping the colony alive. I did this quite a while ago, so the bees have, of course, started producing honeycomb in the roof. It means that they're running out of space in the top box. But what I want to see is that they've joined together. The fact that there's quite a lot of bees up here already means to me that they're obviously doing quite well. And it means that they've probably joined together. So let's have a quick look, make sure the queen's happy and healthy. We'll move on. Yes, I don't know if you can see that. If you look there, so you can see that the newspaper has been completely eaten away from under the queen excluder. See? So there you are. Come through the other side so you can see what's going on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this queen excluder. Chances are that she won't be going into the top box anyway, just because it looks like it's honey bound now. Actually, the bottom box looks quite empty of these. That's an interesting turn of events. So the bottom box has, let's put that over there, only has 4 seams of bees, whereas the top box is absolutely jam-packed. So I wonder if the bees have taken on the queen, but have just decided to stay up top where the honey and stuff was. Because this was a bigger colony when I put it on than the one on here, because I wanted to baluster it, but we'll see. Hopefully there'll be eggs down here, because if not, then we're in a bit of trouble. So there's a fresh foundation not being used down here, so they've definitely got space. Let's find the queen. So there's lots of larvae still. Any eggs? Not seeing any eggs yet. So she is a marked queen. Should be seeing some eggs. Unless they've seen her off in the past week or so and produced queen cells in the top box. That's also an option. Yes, I've not seen any eggs yet, so that's interesting. Lots of cat brood there. So if there's larvae, it means that there's been a queen in here in the past week or so. I wonder if I've got things confused, and maybe the bottom box is where I took the queen from, and I put a queen right top on. That could make more sense as to why they're staying up top rather than coming down here. I might be confused. It's easily done when you've got 50 hives. Alright, I'm going to put that back. I'm going to put this foundation frame in the middle because that'll tempt them to draw it out. Move this across, move this across. And we'll have a look at the top box, see what's going on in there. Either way, I'm not going to put the queen excluder back on. So it means if there's a queen in the top box, get down. I can't see any queens in the bottom box, so, and there's no eggs, so chances are I've just got mixed up and this was the queenless one and this was the queen right one that I was joining it with. So we'll see. Yeah, so the queen is in the top box. So she's in the roof here. I just saw a green dot then as she was running around. And of course, when I've come to find her again, I can't see her. So the queen is in this box here. Where on earth have you gone? So she's in here, she's marked. So the top box has the queen and the bottom box was queenless. So that's what I was doing. Annoyingly, the queen has gone hiding, which you'd think would be very hard to do, seeing as, you know, she's much bigger than the other ones and she has a green dot in her back. But, can't surprise, she uses her cloaking machine. Right, so I know where the queen is, she's in there, so I don't have to worry anymore. What I am going to do though is I'm going to tap them back in here, just so I don't lose the queen, and she's got the full length of this now, so the whole space is just opened up for her, thankfully. I'm going to get rid of this brace comb as well, because I've got loads of space down there. I don't need it. In particular, if I saw her, I could pick her up. I can't see it now. Ah, so annoying. Right, so the queen's in there though. We don't have to worry about that. Right. Put you out of the way, guys. So when you're doing this, try and make sure that you knock the bees off. Back your fingernails. They can't sting you through your fingernails, so that way it's good. I'm going to take this to my sacrificial area. It's always good just to have a little place where you can put honey-soaked comb so that they can be taken back to the other hives. What is that? Oh, that's why. Go on, watch out. Woo! Watch out. There we go. Go on, out you go. So I know the queen's in here, even if I can't see her, because I just saw her. Oh, there she is! Ha 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 ha! Found you, you little bugger. I mean, I know. I'll stick to it. You're a little bugger. Come here. So once I've got her, I can relax a bit. Come here. Staying to the corners where my bladder thing doesn't work. Right, okay, got it. Right, there we go. Right, found the queen. She's here in my hand. Love the queen, massive. You see that? There she is, huge queen. So, I found her, so she can now go in the box. So I'm going to drop her in. Go on, in you go. There she is, walking on top, and down she goes. Right, that means that I can knock these bees out of here and get rid of this brace comb. Yeah, so I was definitely confused. I thought that it was the top box that was queenless, but I was wrong, it was the bottom box. And thinking about it now, it makes sense because, oh, it's much easier to find a queen in a small colony than it is to find a strong colony. So, put that back on top. There we go. Right, so I've actually had to combine quite a few nukes into this one. So this is probably going to have a lot of space. Yeah, so these have started to emerge. That's pretty light, so there's no honey going in there, so that's good. They've definitely managed to get through because there is a bloody great big hole in the newspaper. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a quick look, make sure there's eggs, and then I'm going to just leave these guys because they are doing well enough. So this colony, I don't know if you remember, I don't know if I actually showed that video thinking about it, showing you how to make nukes up to put queen cells in. This is the colony that I used. This queen, I think I made about 4 nukes off her. So she was really low on bees and frames, really. So as I've been selling queens, the ones that I've been selling that have been in these boxes, I've been combining them with her again, just so she can start laying up and she can start filling it up with bees again. So when I do this next queen rearing run, I can then take these boxes off and hopefully I can keep her in the bottom box again. Just see what's going on in here. So that's honey. honey. Okay, so they are doing some honey. I can see a bit of brood. It's good. Oh, cap brood, freshly emerging. No eggs or anything. So this brood box is full of honey. Okay. Oh, okay. Let's see what this one's doing. So this one should be part of the brood area, unless the queen is having troubles. If she is, then I'll put that fresh one that's pretty empty down here. Oh yeah, okay, so we've got brood I can see. Get off. Ah, do I see queen cells? Oh, these queen cups. So we've got queen cups at the bottom. It's not too much to worry about right now. Want to see eggs. So lots of larvae. Loads and loads of larvae, young larvae as well. Okay, so that side. This side, again, loads of larvae. Not seeing any eggs yet. Have a quick look for the queen. I'm seeing some, crap, queen cells. So I found a queen cell at the bottom there. So that means that they're wanting to either swarm or replace the queen. Found an egg, so she's still here. But that means that there's trying to swarm. So we're in a bit of a pickle here because I have no idea where she is. She could be absolutely anywhere in this box. So I can either spend time now trying to find her, or I can tell that she's in here because of all the eggs and just shake the bees off each frame and knock down any queen cell that I find, which I think is what I'm going to do. Then I'm going to put queen excluders in between. It means that she's trapped to one box. It means that I should be able to find her a bit easier. So I'm going to go get some queen excluders so I can do that. Unless I see her now. Very much doubt I will. So there's a queen cup there. Well, actually, there's a queen cell at the bottom there that looks like it's very close to completion. So as soon as the bees complete the queen cell, or a queen cell, the queen buggers off with half the bees. And that's not what you want. Especially because this queen's lovely. Produces good bees, produces good brood. So I'm going to get some queen excluders. How many do I need? 1, 2, 3. So I need one more. So we're going to start from the bottom and work our way up. Watch out. I'll be coming back to you in a second. I'm going to shake all the frames, get rid of any queen cells. And we're going to look for the queen as well while we're at it, because then we can save us a job. If she's saying if she's in the bottom box. Say if she's in the bottom box and I find her, then I don't have to put queen excluders on the others. But for now, I'm just going to go through it bit by bit. Right, let's see if this smoke is still lit. Might have to relight it in a bit. Let's get rid of this. So there's queen cells all over this brace comb here. Go on, out the way. Boop. And you. Boop. There we go. Right, put that in the sacrificial area. Going to produce a lot of candles this year, I think. That wax that these guys are producing. Right. Quick look for the queen. That is a massive frame of drone brood. So what I might do is I might just cut that away and reduce the number of varroa in this colony. Check this off. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to swap this frame out for now. And then what I've done is I've just taken away loads of varroa. That's good. I'm going to replace it with a battered frame. I'll enjoy that. Keep them entertained. Right. Right, look, loads of pollen. Nothing much. That's fine. I wasn't expecting much on that frame. So the queen should have a lot of space in here, so I don't know why they're trying to swarm. It could just be the fact that they've reached critical mass again. So that's a lovely frame of cat brood. See if I can see the queen first. Nope, shake she goes. I'll look for queen cells. No queen cells there. No queen cells here. Okay. Alright, next frame. Stop getting in between the hand and the thing, please. Ugh. Right. Quick look for the queen. I think she'll be in the middle box personally, but we'll see. Can we see her? Can we see her? I think she should be marked, but it was a silver mark, and that gets licked off really fast by the bees, so chances are won't be able to see her. Queen cells. Good frame of cat brood, though. Okay. Ciao. Come on, watch out. Look for the queen. Just a little glance, you don't have to really look for her properly. Can't see her, so shake. Queen cells. No queen cells, just absolutely jam-packed with cat brood. To be fair, this is another queen that I should have given a hive rather than kept in a nuke. I needed her for me queen rearing though to produce bees and brood, because as you can see she produces a lot of bees and she can produce a lot of brood, so she's really good at that. At least I can see queen cells. Right, can we see a queen? That's the question. That's the queen. Can't see the queen, so I'm just going to shake this off. You can see one queen cell there. It's queen cup on the queen cell. Let's have a look, see if there's anything else. No. Right, so I want to build this back up. Put this back in here. Doesn't really matter where this one goes. Then we're going to try and shift these bees away. Put the next box on. So you go. The problem with these Maze More boxes is that they have this lip, and the bees love to get in this lip, and when they do that they can just get squashed really easily. So have to be really careful with it and try not to let any get stuck in it. It's impossible to stop all of them from getting in, but if you do, as long as you try your best, that's what matters. Right, I'll smoke around the edges, try and get rid of some of the bees. Oops, pushing that around. Right. Come on, girls, out the way. Out the way. Oh. Oh, these are bottom space, so it doesn't matter if they're in the middle, just along the edges, really. So I'll get it here. I'll have to budge them out the way again, just quickly. Come on, out the way. Out the way. Come on, budge. Budge. Okay. Right. Oh, that was annoying. Smoke these down. Come on, out the way. So the smoke has gone out with my smoker, annoyingly. So it's just throwing out ashes. Which is fine. It still works for the most part, just doesn't work amazingly well. Queen cells. Nope. Nope. So you may be wondering, we've only seen a few queen cells. Why are we shaking the whole thing up? And it's because, to be honest, Like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there. There's enough to say that it's swarm cells rather than supersedure cells. With supersedure cells, you only get like 2 or 3. Sometimes you only get 1. With swarm cells, it's multiples of more than 5 really. So one of the main reasons is to stop this from swarming, because last thing I want to do when I'm doing a queen rearing run is lose half my bloody bees from one of my best colonies. That was annoying. What's that gone? Yeah, so one of the reasons that I don't want to lose all these bees when it comes to queen rearing season. I know this. The queen's good. The queen's a really good queen. So I don't particularly want to see her flying over the horizon, really. There's lots of woodland around me, so I'm surrounded by woodland. So these bees, if they did swarm, they wouldn't cause any issues for anybody, I don't think. Or if they did, it'd be very, very slight. It'd be like, oh, look, there's bees in that tree. And that's it, really. It's one of the benefits of having my apiaries at woodlands. That's another cat brood frame. Nothing. No queen cells on that one, I don't think. Nope. Okay, let's bring it in. Show. So these bees will probably be getting a bit irate because I'm shaking them all out. As I've said before, if I go to someone's house and I shuck all the furniture around and pick them all up and dropped her on the floor, you'd be a bit annoyed as well. So if I get stung, that's why. It's just because I'm peeing them off. That was the original queen that I found. Right, so look. No more queen cells there. Okay. Didn't want to be doing this. I had planned to do grafting today. I don't think I'm going to get a chance. I'm going to have to wait and do it after work one day. Queen cells. Queen cells. Lots of larvae. I'm not seeing any eggs, that's the worrying thing. But there's loads of young larvae to produce another queen cell. So if I come back in a week or whatever, or in a few days, and there's no eggs in any of the boxes, it means that the queen's gone. And if she's gone, that means that I'll have to leave one of the cells to emerge. Or actually, I'm doing queen rearing, so I could just split this into several nukes and fill it with queen cells of my own making. That is just honey, I think. So, right. So, yeah, that's just honey. Keep going. Just put this in. So the bees have all evacuated the box now. They're all on the outside. It's just fine when it's on the front like this or here, which they haven't actually come out very much, but when it's on the side like this, it's annoying. So the best thing to do is scoop them back in if you can. Right, try and aim for the centre. The flat edge of your hive tool is pretty good for scraping along the thing without hurting them. And then try and go along the edge here, scoop them back in. Right, next pinch leader. And what I said, slowly but surely, just slide it in there, and then just do little wiggles until they move out of the way. Be patient, even though you're in a rush. Because these guys are the ones that make you your honey. So one of the benefits of the BS Honey nukes, which is what this bottom box is, compared to the Mazemore ones, is that they are top bee space. What that means is that there's bee space underneath the queen excluder when you put a queen excluder on. So it means you can leave the bees on the frames and just put the queen excluder on. Unfortunately, this is a Mazemore one, so I can't really do that. So as long as you're quick, they shouldn't sting you when you're scraping them off away from these things here on the edges. You have to be very quick and don't trap them. If they want to fly, you need to be able to let them fly. Right, want to smoke them again? Well, ash them. One goes all the way. Right, next one. Oh, spent far too long on this one colony. Never goes the way you want it to. So the interesting thing is that this box feels quite empty. So the fact that they're making queen cells is a bit confusing to me. Because there's plenty of space up here for eggs and stuff, and there's just none up. Just no eggs. Just not doing any eggs up here. Imagine if I saw her after all this right here in this box. How we'd laugh. Queen cells. And queen cells. So it's just that middle box so far that's had queen cells. I think there was one in the bottom box, but it's the second box that had the most. Go. Okay, so this is honey frame. That's quite full. The benefit of doing this as well is that next week is the honey pull, I think. The 70s next week? I don't know. I think it's next week. There's the honey pull. So any frames that have honey on, like these, I can take off and replace with some foundation frames if needs be. And hopefully that means that it'll give a lot more space to the nukes. Loads of space on this frame. Yeah, okay. Right, and again, queen excluder time. So I should find the queen this way, just because she can't get through the queen excluder, and every box now has a queen excluder on it. Just pushing the bees this way because there's so many on this front here. They're falling as clumps. I don't want the queen, if she's in that clump, to be falling as well. So if I nudge them over this way, then it means that they go up to that entrance instead. There we go. Right, girls. Open this entrance up a bit more if I can. There you go. Everyone can get in now. Right. Let's move you out of the way of being squashed. If you've gone to this side again, you have silly bees. Why do they keep going to this side? I'm covered in bees now. Sorry if you can't hear me because of a flying bee. Oh boy. Right, last one. Ooh. So there won't be any queen cells in here, I don't think. But, well, best check. Right, watch out. Queen won't be in this one anyway. There are queen cells here, and they are capped. As you can see, there's queen cells there, and 2 of them are capped. The queen could have gone off. I have seen some larvae in the bottom, and as I'm doing a queen rear and run anyway, it doesn't really matter, so I'm going to still get rid of these queen cells anyway. Just because I want to make sure that any queens that I produce are queens that I've produced. And I know where they've come from. If you down here for now. It's hard keeping up with the camera and the height of these boxes because they're getting really high now. Fine. That's a foundation frame that's not been touched. Don't see anything there. So another thing that could have happened is I could have added this box. It had some cells and some larvae in it, and the bees inside it had started producing queen cells. Because I've left it for a few weeks to let them combine, the bees could have gone, oh, there's queen cells capped up here, and then decided, right, well, if that's the case, we need to go. Then again, saying that, there are still a lot of bees in this colony, a huge amount of bees. Like every single box apart from the top one, so 3 full boxes of bees. So I don't think the queen has swarmed yet. I think that she was in the process of going to be swarming, but I don't think she's actually swarmed as of yet. Right, I need to decamp these bees off me. Go on, away. So we're back at the quarantine apiary today. One of these has swarmed. Steve, the landowner, gave me a call the other day saying that a massive swarm full of bees has just left. It went that way. And then, God love him, he sent me a video of him charging through, trying to figure out where it went. But it's lovely of him. Unfortunately, today they're having a market day, so I need to be quite quiet, I think, because I don't really want to disturb anybody. I may end up with some people watching as well, so that could be interesting. Right, so what I'm doing, I'm going to go through this very quick and just find which one swarmed, knock all the cells down apart from one, and then that'll just be the queen that emerges. Then all I need to do is leave them for a few weeks. It's annoying that it's happened this time of year, but what are you going to do? My guess is that it's probably going to be Kate or the one at the back over there. Generally, swarms don't like to disappear off over the horizon again after you've caught them once, but sometimes just external pressures such as a huge nectar flow and not enough space, which I should be okay. I've been keeping on top of these guys with space quite well, so I'm surprised that there's been a swarm, to be honest. But yeah, we'll see what happens, see which one swarmed, and we'll fix that situation. Then we'll get out of here quick because I am running out of time. I think I've got 2 hours to do 2 apiaries. Right, let's crack on. Because the ground is really uneven again, I need to do another strim job here. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep you there, and hopefully you can see what's going on. If I go to one of the hives over there, then I'll probably move you. But for now, I'll just keep you here. It's a bit of a wide view lens, but never mind. Oh, the last thing I want to do is disturb anybody. It seems like everyone's having a really good time, so. Oh. So these are just honey supers. This one's empty, virtually, and full of minging combs, so if worse comes to worse, I can move that onto a different hive. I very much doubt this one is going to be the one that swarmed, just because it's a fresh queen. Whoa. These boxes are getting slightly heavier as I go down. Do have full boxes of honey though, so there's a few frames that aren't full, but that's pretty good. Here's a trick: if you're doing stuff in public or near public, and you're just being a general beekeeper, if someone comes looking at you or talking to you while you're doing your beekeeping, offer them some honey from the comb. Make sure you get rid of the bees, obviously, because last thing you want to do is pass them honeycomb with bees on it. But just say, do you want to try some of this season's honey? They'll invariably say yes, because who doesn't want to? Oh, try honey strips with the comb. Wow, they're so heavy. And then you tell them where you are and how to get hold of your honey, and they should become a customer in due time. Right, so this is a brood box that I put on that was particularly gross because they'd filled that one with honey, and they are using it. They're cleaning it up. It's got nectar in it. What we want to see is eggs. See eggs, we don't have to worry because it's been a few days since Steve got in touch. So if there's eggs, it means that there's a queen in here, which means that she hasn't swarmed. That's quite light, so I'm just going to have a quick look at the middle, usually where the brood goes. And there's just nectar in there. Okay. So I want to see eggs in here. Now she was a new queen. She'd only just got back from a mating run last time I was in here, which was about 2 weeks ago. So I'll have a look. So there's a lovely brood there, cat brood, and fortunately the sun is able to get here. It's a really lovely day, and annoyingly it's not great if you're in a very padded bee suit. So I'm seeing a lot of nectar here. Pollen. I'm not seeing any eggs at the moment. Move to the outside a bit. Yeah, still no eggs and no larvae. This colony's quite strong though, so if it's swarmed then we've lost a massive one. It's pollen, nectar. Let's move you over here. Let's get that frame. Let's do this one. So it feels quite light. Ah, yeah, flipper. Right on the tip of my thumb. Ouch. So again, not seeing any eggs. It's very dark comb. So I must be careful. Just have a proper look. No eggs at all from what I can see. Oh, my thumb hurts. Okay, so it could be this one, but I've not seen any queen cells either, so that's another problem. It's interesting. So I've got cat brood, no eggs. Oh, a bee just ripped me bloody glove, trying to sting me. So there's one big lot. Oh, there's the queen. So I found a queen. I think she's a virgin queen actually. Right there. So I'm going to try and... Oh, yeah, definitely a virgin queen. She just flew. So that means that this is a... Okay, so this colony swarmed. That was the virgin queen. She just flew off as I poked her. Don't worry about that. If that happens, don't worry. If she's a virgin queen, she'll have gone out and she'll probably just land on the thingy board over here in a second. Or she'll land on somewhere high just to get a good vantage point, and then she'll fly back. So don't worry if the virgin queen flies off. The only time you have to worry is if you've got a mated queen and you get her from a cage and she flies off, because I've done that a few times. That's very annoying. Okay, so this is a virgin queen in here. So that means that there must have been a swarm from this colony. I've seen the virgin queen. she's emerged, so that means that they swarmed a week or so ago, probably. Okay, so that's interesting because I was here 2 weeks ago and I didn't see any starters for swarming, and all of these boxes are really empty, so interesting. Oh well, it happens. Oh god, oh, this is heavy. Oh, there we go. Well, we'll have a look soon. Seeing if you can see her hanging around. She'll phone back in there, don't have to worry. Ooh. So, that's different. This one swarmed. There's a virgin queen. I don't have to worry about that anymore. If I see a virgin queen run around, it means that she's either seen off any other virgin queens or the swarming that was going to happen has happened. So that's one colony checked. Right, time to check this one. Now, this one was throwing up swarm cells a couple of weeks ago. Removed the queen and destroyed all but one queen cell. So this one should just have a queen laying up a storm at the moment. Oh my god. Oh, that's a very full box. Lovely smelling honey. And then I get smoked out on the smoker. So this will be getting some honey this year. This was the nasty comb that they just... Oh, they are fixing it up, to be fair. Let's see what happens. So what I'm hoping is just some eggs. See some eggs, I'm happy. These guys have produced a lot of propolis. Ones are very sticky. This is a super, I just realised. Right, I'm going to swap these supers around. Let's move this on top of here and shake the bees into the bottom box. Now this had the frame, so the reason that this super's here is because this had the queen on it, this frame here. Obviously the queen will have escaped. And this is full of honey now, so the queen couldn't lay on here if she wanted to. So I'm just going to shake the bees off. Put this elsewhere. If it's full of honey anyway, the bees aren't going to be able to use it, so I may as well just move it up. And put an empty one down, so it means I can use that one instead. Problem is that it's so full of propolis. Hands are so sticky. I have to change my gloves before I go on to the next hive, I think. Keep an eye out for any eggs. If there's any empty comb, I'll check it for eggs just to see. This is my job. Oh, nothing. Right. So, tap this down. this down. For now, put this box on here, like so, and build it up again. Right, let's blow these bees down and take a frame out from the centre and see if I can find eggs. So all these bees will probably fly to one of these two hives here. I've just put this. There's. Right. So there should be some eggs on this frame here. Right now, I think. This colony is definitely not swarmed because it's huge. It's nectar. Virgin queen could still be going out mating. How many weeks was it? 2 weeks? So it could be an extra week before she starts laying. I don't know. We'll see anyway. Ugh. So there's no eggs there either. Interesting. I wonder if she's not got back mated yet. If that's the case, we'll give her another week, and then I'll give her give the hive a test frame. We'll see. Right. Just put these down again. Put this box on. Put it out the way. You do the right one? Yep. There we go. Queen excluder on. And put these on, I guess. I don't like to do this on market days just because after I've done my beekeeping inspections and stuff, sometimes the bees can be a bit nangy. And if someone comes over to see the beautiful bees, they might get stung. So. Okay, so that's interesting. 2 colonies with no eggs. That's annoying. Right, change my gloves and change my hive tool quickly. So this is culprit number 1 is Kate. She's an old queen, and she's not done a right lot this year really. She's done 3 supers, but they were really precautionary supers. She wasn't filling them last time I saw. She may have changed that with the arrival of the good weather, but we'll see. So yeah, this top box is completely empty. No bees whatsoever. Yeah. So with old queens, it takes less to make them swarm because the colonessents want to get a young queen taking over the big colony, the main colony, which is this one. So they tempt the queen away. So that's why younger queens are usually better for for preventing swarming. I'll tell you what I'll do. So just because it's a method of checking for queen cells, you just lift it on its back, or on its side like that, and you just have a look, see if you can see any queen cells, because queen cells are vertical, so you can possibly see that there. So you can see the queen cups quite easily, because it's the only holes that are actually facing you. So I'm just going to have a quick look. See, so there is brood in this top box, so I'm going to go from the bottom up, as I usually do when I do my inspections. Ooh. But it's a good quick way just to see if you can see any swarm cells, because swarm cells are usually the ones along the bottom of the frames. There we go. Let's have a look. So yeah, we've got some swarm cells there and there. So I think it was this one that swarmed, and there's 2 capped swarm cells here. Well, that one's been torn down. There's another capped swarm cell here. Oh, that's been torn down as well. Interesting. So they've torn down the capped swarm cells, and they're in the process of pulling this queen out. So if you look there, they have started pulling the queen cell, or the queen rather, out with the queen cell. So you can see one of its legs there. So they've killed that queen, and they're now removing her body out of that queen cell. So this is where they start digging holes in the side. Can you see it? So move out the way and see what's going on inside. Yeah, so they've actually, that's all that's left of the queen. It's not much. And now what they're going to do is try and clean up this royal jelly. That's interesting. So they've started tearing down these queen cells that were sealed. So that means that they must like the queen that's in there, that's been released. I'll have a look. Well, that's interesting anyway. So we know there's queen cells in here. So that means that this is probably this one that swarmed. I'll still check the others just to make sure, but it's probably this one. It's probably Kate. As I said, she was old. She's 1 or 2 years old. Can't remember how old she is actually, off the top of my head. She was getting old. So they've probably just seen her off. There seems considerably less bees in here as well. So this kind of points to this being the one that swarmed. So that's just nectar. Queen cell there. It's empty. Seeing if there's any eggs, because if there's any eggs, it means that maybe she hasn't swarmed yet. No, there's no eggs at all. So all of these are larvae. So there's loads of larvae though, so that's good. I think this outer frame will just be nectar. Yeah, just nectar. Let's flip it around so they start working on the other side. Right, let's go through this. So I want to keep all but one queen cell. So this queen cell here looks a bit dodgy to me. If you look there, it's been elongated right down to the end there. It's come off quite easily, so what I'll do is I'll keep it to the side. But I don't think that that's going to be a viable queen. Shake this off. I've seen queen cells elsewhere, so I'm not too worried about. There's lots of young larvae in here as well, so if I knock down all the queen cells, then I can get on top of it. Interesting that there's no eggs in the next door one, so. Oh, I can see eggs. Not a lot of eggs, but I can see eggs. I can also see another queen cell. Capped queen cell as well. So the queen cell right there looks very similar to this one actually. I'm going to open this one up, see what it looks like inside. So it's best doing it from the bottom actually. That's why you need a hive tool that's very sharp, and this one unfortunately is blunt as old Tom. Just got to turret it. But we're not too squeamish. But I've just taken the top off there, and there's the queen. You can see the legs are formed. She's just not got any colour yet. Unfortunately, that means that she is not going to survive. So what I'm going to do, though, I'm going to keep that one surviving. So that can be our queen cell there. I want to make a little dot right where that is. And unless we see a better queen cell, I'm just going to shake and knock them all down now. Oh. Check for queen cells first, see if there's any noticeable. So that one there, that's been pinched at the bottom, so that's not going to be a viable queen. Check this off. Can't see any queen cells. Oh, next. Remember, you only need one queen cell. Now that is a good looking queen cell. Typically that's what I want in a queen cell. It's out the way. It's out of the way. It's nice conical shape. It's got no weird random joints in it. That's a good cell. So I'm going to use that as my main cell. I'm going to get rid of the other one. What that means though is that I'm going to have to brush all the bees off this to make sure I get rid of any other cells as well. So I'm going to make a mark where that is. Propolis. Yeah, so I'm going to use that queen cell. It looks like a good one to me. I'm going to get rid of the other one because it looks a bit irregular. So to get rid of the bees, just brush with your nails. Can't sting your nails, and you can get them off, and it saves you from shaking. So that's an irregular shaped one, so we're going to get rid of that one. Trying to make sure that I don't put any weight on that. Okay, so I'll go back to the other one in a second. And that is a really good one, so I don't care now, so I'm just going to shake and destroy any cells I find now. Well, I've got to try to be quick because I am running out of time. There's so much nectar in here, so I think maybe the queen started to run out of space. Oops. So the other queen cell is over here. Let's push that across. Here we are. So we're going to get rid of this one. I'm sure it would have been fine. It's just if you find one that looks good, then choose that one instead. Right, and what I'm going to do now, I'm going to put a queen excluder on there, and then hopefully they'll turn those into honey supers. Right. So we're going to put this on. So I think this is the one that swarmed. I'll still check the other ones quickly, but I don't think they're swarming. Come on, put up. Right, go through these boxes, knock down any queen cells that we find. Hopefully they'll turn these into honey super soon. So what I might have to do is a delayed honey pull for some boxes, because they still have drone cells like that. These are getting close to hatching. I'm getting smoked here. They are getting close to hatching, so it should only take a week or so for them to be moved out and honey put in. So here we are, this is one I was talking about. So it looks like this queen for some reason didn't cut the mustard. And you can see that they've cut into the side of it and they've dragged her out for the most part. I think she's still in there slightly. Whatever's in there is dead. So just get rid of it. Don't worry about it. Oh, and there's one in the corner there that I missed. Oops. There you go. Gone. Brood. No queen cells there. Some queen cells here. Where's the towel go? Got my tool here. Get rid of them. And these. Sweat is running into my eye. Lovely. That's fine. Some more queen cells that have been torn down or begun to be torn down. Now, I'm loath to use smoke for this super, just because there is some honey being stored here. I might use a little puff here and there, but that's it. This is all drone brood. That should emerge soon. Oh, it's very hot today. Look at that one. So we had some that were completely torn down there. Crazy. Lovely happy dog. Seems to be some sort of dog festival going on, which is weird. There you are. I tell my parents to bring their dogs down. It's another queen cell. It's a pretty good one, but I've already chosen a good one downstairs, so I don't need that anymore. That one's dead. More queen cells there. It might be a queen cell, so I'll get rid of you. And then I think the last one's just honey. Yeah, just honey. Sweet. Literally. So, I'm going to put you back over here, because why not? Okay, so, gently. What I need to do now is put this next box on without crushing so many people. So I'm just going to brush them in. Brush them into the centre. Come. Right. Move you out of the way. The problem with when you do all the shaking, you throw a load of nectar everywhere, and bees love nectar. They hoover it up as soon as they can. So my hands are very sticky tacky. I've gone through so many gloves while I've been here. I think this is the last one with brood on it though. So last one. This has got drones actually coming out of the cells. That's good. Full of honey. Full of honey. Full of honey. Queen cup. Brood. Drone brood. Escaping as well, so that'll all be hatching. So that's a really good queen cell there. So that there's a really good looking queen cell to me. If it was just this one left, I'd choose this one over the others, but unfortunately I've already found a good one, so that one has to go. Come on, out you go. Away. Honey. honey, some queen cups at the bottom. It's fine. Out of the way, you. Fudge. A bit of pollen and some brood. I'll be hatching in the next few weeks. So what I might do is I might leave this apiary and do this sort of piecemeal. Just to give them an extra few weeks to fill the empty brood cells with honey. Also gives the queens a chance to get out and get mated. So by next week, that queen cell that I've just found and marked, that will have emerged. And if that emerges, then it'll be starting to do its mating runs. Hopefully this weather can keep up, being nice and sunny, because then it'll go out and get mated quite easily without any issues. I'll have to see. I'll move you over there. Right. Oh, right, last one. Don't think this has any brooding. Barely got the bees in, so to be honest, I like to keep this off because it doesn't need the space anymore. It's got no brood that's going to be emerging really. It's not got a lot anyway, so we find what it's got. Shot bees. It's another glove gone. So I think this is the culprit. As I said, I'll go through the other ones quickly just to see, but I don't think it's going to be them. Let's change these gloves. Believe it or not, this is the best angle I could get you at. This apiary is not built for filming, I'm afraid. Right, so we're going to have a quick look at this one. This one's kind of spicy. It was the last few times I've used it. I'll go into it, so have a quick look. So they're in the top super, that's good. Not doing huge amounts to it. I think they've got some honey growing. No, they're just cleaning it up and putting nectar in. So, but they are using it. So that's good. I've got loads of space up here. Let's hope that equates to them not wanting to swarm, because I haven't put a queen excluder on this. So the queen should have lots of room to manoeuvre. Bugger. This is full of nectar. Not quite honey yet. I can tell honey because it's thicker than nectar. I find it's not as shiny. So look at this, this one's full of honey. And drones for some reason. Come on. Yeah, there's some larvae in here. Shall I try and budge out? Okay. Damn it. There we go. Oh, that is very heavy. Now, where's my smoker? So this should be where the queen is. What a monster seed eggs. There's plenty of space in this hive, so I'll be amazed if it's this one that's swarmed. But the way things are going, I can't be too amazed, can I? Ooh. Let's get rid of sprace comb just because it's messy and can cause trouble. Don't worry about the bees. They'll crawl out in a second. Do the middle one. What we're not wanting to see is lots of honey. And see lots of brood. It's light, and there we go. Lots of brood. Nectar in between them, but still lots of brood, so that's good. And what we're wanting to see, I've seen some larvae, that's fine. I want to see some eggs of some sort. This one's full of brood, cat brood. This one's full of cat brood, and it's got a queen cup, but it's a queen cup, it's fine. And I can see eggs, so this one hasn't got a queen in it. So, just to give them a bit more space. I'll look over here as well, just to see how big the brood area is. Go away. Oh, that's a full frame of cat brood as well. Yeah, that's great. Amazing. No queen cells, that's good. That's what I want to see. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to put a super on top of this. The super that I've just taken out, that one actually. Oh, it's empty. I'll give them something to do. Oop, that. And I'm going to put these out. I'll shake all the bees in here. Put a queen excluder on. I'll just go get a queen excluder. Right, this might take a bit of time. Okay, where's my... Whoa. We can put these out the way. I'll do it for now. Yeah. There's a lot of nectar in these. Don't know if you can see the spray nectar. Oh, this one's full of drone brood. I might do. Nah, sorry. Got loads of nectar in it, it's fine. As I said, I'll give it an extra week for coming to take the honey off these guys here. I'll just use next weekend as a preliminary one. Get the majority of the supers off that are full of honey. And then the ones that are lagging behind, I'll come back for those ones after a week or so. And I've had a chance to dry off. That'll give me time to start spinning off the majority of the honey that I've got. So, build you up. These bees haven't stung me yet. That's interesting, because they were very tetchy last time I was in here. I guess maybe they've got quite a lot of honey, so they're pretty chill. Right. Next one. This one seems to be only half full, so put them down. Oh, there's missing one as well. This hasn't got any honey in it yet. got a lot of nectar, no honey. They're just cleaning it up from the looks of it. So I'll put this one closest to the queen excluder so they can work on this one more. Oh, a lot easier. So even though the chances of the queen being up here is very slim, it still makes sense to shake all the bees out, because then you're 100% sure that you've not got a queen above the queen excluder. Because imagine if you booked a day off work to do the honey pull, you've got the clean room all set up, it just takes quite a while to do. I wonder if I can do a video of that actually. And then you come 6 supers off, and there's loads of eggs and brood in all of your comb, which means that you can't spin it. Because if you spin it, it'll fill your honey that you're wanting to sell or consume with the goo of larvae. So so look at you. I don't think you've got any honey in either, have you? What I might do, just to confine them, if there's any frames that are a bit battered, swap them out with one of the ones. Oh, that's honey in it. It's got nothing in it. Nope, nothing. 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 Ooh. Nothing. So this was the top box. This is the very top where the bees hadn't really been in. So I'm not too surprised that there's no bees, really. Right, queen excluder. So the entrance is that way. So I'm going to push the bees that way. Another thing is queen excluders tend to have slots, vertical slots. It doesn't really matter which orientation you do it. I've had it both ways, and it doesn't really make a difference. The biggest thing that makes a difference is that the holes are big enough that the bees can get through. And with some plastic ones like this, you can find it that they just don't fit through. So it's always good when you put it on just to monitor the bees, make sure that 1 or 2 can make it through. Come on, off you go. Alright, so I've budged all the bees to the front. I'll start piling these on. Oh. So these guys have got 2 brood boxes and a super. The super's minging, but it's got loads of space in it. Oh. And the 2 supers on top. One has nectar in it, and one has honey. So these supers now will start to get filled again with bees. Last one. Right, I'll just build these back up. Because if this hive needs space, then so generally during the flow, you don't tend to get many swarming bees. The only reason that I've started getting swarming bees is because it's either the older ones starting to decide to go, or because I've put a queen excluder on some of the big ones, and the bees are getting annoyed about having to go through the queen excluders to deposit their honey. So they start making swarm cells because they feel that sort of constriction. Just pull you down. Oh, to be quick. So these guys have started filling this box, but they haven't been doing a lot with it. Now this is a box that I use for cut comb. I won't be using it for cut comb this year because there was quite a lot of comb left over, and you can't really sell stuff like that. It's horrible. What you want to sell is the lovely crisp white comb, which you can't really do with this. So what I tend to do here with this stuff is when it comes to the end of the season and I'm extracting, I cut the comb off and then mash it up and then sieve it out or press it out. And what that does, it means that the honey comes out, and I've got a load of wax that I can make candles with. It's quite destructive, but I've only got 2 supers that are like that, so I'm not too worried. Bees should be fine. Now this queen was from behind me, and I took her away because they were trying to swarm, and she was in a ridiculously small colony once all the flying bees had disappeared. But now, as you can see, she's doing excellent. I'm just seeing it, make sure, yeah, loads of eggs. So she's still in here, still doing well. Yeah, I'm just going to leave it to it. As long as there's eggs, it means that she's still here. So, I think I found the culprit. I think it was Kate. The other 2 hives, not sure what's going on there, but we've got virgin queens, both of them, so they're happy enough. Right, let's go to the other apiary. I've still got time. Right, I have to be really quick now. I'm running very late. I've got less than an hour to do 12 hives. So what I'm looking for is eggs to make sure that the queen's there. Space. And take a quick look at the brood as well. So this was a Mankey super, but as you can see, they've cleaned it up and started storing honey in it already. That's awesome. They've actually driven the slugs that were in that up into the roof. I think it's quite funny. All right, you go onto here. That's not as heavy as it should be if it's full of honey, so that's a bit annoying. Same as this one, doesn't feel particularly honey bound either. I think the flow may have stopped over here actually. I was saying that there's still quite a lot of bees coming in and out of the hive, so I don't know. Maybe, we'll see. They've got brood in it. I must have moved this above the excluder last week. So if it's got brood in it, then I need to just be careful that there's no queen cells. Just bear with me. Just clean up. Oh, there's a couple of queen cells here, so it's a good job I checked. There's one. Well, there's the other. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to hold on to that, not do anything with it. One of them's knackered, so I can't use one of them, but if there's queen cells here, then I need to make sure that there are no queen cells below and that there are eggs below. Because sometimes you can get queen cells in a super because you've you've partitioned the queen away from the brood. So the bees go, oh, something's going on here. So look, this is a minging brood box, which they have been cleaning up. Not cleaned up enough there yet for them to start laying in. Still cleaning it. Yeah, so you can see they're still cleaning it. Let's do the middle. So as I said before, the bees that have come out of this queen, this imported queen, are really nangy. They jump right on your hands, and it doesn't take long before they start trying to want to sting you, so that's interesting. Ugh. Right. So the queen should be down here and should have lots of eggs. So I have to move you a bit so you can see. So there's way too much. Ooh, falling over. So there's way too much space on this colony. They're using the supers. Granted, they're cleaning them up, but the addition of the extra brood box has just knocked them down. I don't think that they'll be swarming or wanting to swarm anytime soon because they've got so much space. Saying that though, that looks like a massive queen cell. I think it's more likely to be a queen cup. Yeah, it's a massive queen cup. I'm wanting to see some eggs, so I'm going to use my torch because I'm in the shade here, and there's lots of eggs. So we've got loads of eggs in here. That's good. That means the queen's still about. Because I've seen a queen cell above, I've got to check the frames for queen cells. So I want to do a quick check for the queen. Whoop, 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 whoop. This is full of eggs as well, so the queen is definitely in here. Check for the queen. Can't see the queen. Just see if there's any lumps below, whether there's any lumps, because the bees can hide queen cells really well. There's no queen cells there. Good. Next. Got to do this quick, remember. This is full of pollen. Can't see the queen. Full of eggs and pollen. Still can't see the queen. It's fine. It's not been a queen day today. Loads of larvae. Loads and loads. This whole thing is full of larvae. That's good. This queen's finally found her rhythm, I think. Still haven't seen any queen cells. Right. I wonder if she's over here somewhere. I'm a luminous green dot, and there she is. Right there. So walking around with a bee on her back. Go away. Leave her alone. There she is. Walking around, minding her own business. That's good. And I haven't seen any of the queen cells down here yet. So I'm going to put her back. Only a few more frames, I think, that have brood on. Because all the bees are going up to the supers for some reason. And this is just full of nectar. Okay, so down here has no queen cells. That's good. I can knock those queen cells down over there. Oop. Let's put this in. Right. Put this box back on. Let them fix it up. And I've seen the queen, so I don't have to shake that off. So, let's go about destroying queen cells in this super. So, queen cell here. Out she goes. And that's it. Shake. Queen cell here, and a capped one as well. Get rid of that. So this is one of the reasons why I don't like the Demarest split, because when you do Demarest split, you're constantly fighting queen cells all the time, and you just, when you're like me, you just don't have the time to deal with queen cells constantly. That's good. I don't know if I'll get much honey off these guys, to be honest. Maybe a super, and that's it. It's a bit disappointing, but I've come to terms with it. Yeah, there's no more brood in these frames. Cool. Right. So I'm just going to have a quick look at this brood box, see if I can see any queen cells on here. Because there is brood here. So yeah, so I'm best going through this brood box. So quickly. Break the seal. There's a lot of honey in this but there is also a lot of brood still emerging. Don't see any queen cells there. And that's the side. Nothing, and honey. Who are you? Right, we do have a queen cell here. So I'm just going to shake this off. Okay, so we have queen cell at the bottom, right there. That's going. Right. No queen cells here. Okay. Oh dear me. Honey. Honey. I may get a brood box of honey, I don't know. Let's see. So this is full brood. Full of capped brood, if you can see that. Check it off. So you can see the queen cells. Ooh. So yeah, I think what I might do, like I was saying in the other apiary, I might do a staggered honey pull, where I do one to get the main pull off. I get the main boxes off, and I may do a second one a few weeks later, or a week or so later. So hopefully the bees have had more chance to fill some supers, and I can continue then. No queen cells there. It's good. What that means is that I can get cracking with the majority of the supers that are full, and then some that are lagging, like this one, where it's got brood in it. It'll give them more time to fill those empty cells with honey. Oh, queen cells, no. Right. Oh, okay. Oh, it's just honey. Okay, right. Is that done? Amazing. I'll put this on the super on top. Oh. Watch out, bees. Oh, is that done? Right, next. So I really like this queen. She's doing amazing. I think what I found last time was that they were filling one of the brood boxes with mostly honey, and she was getting pushed down. So I think I gave her a fresh brood box. That's off the top of my head. I can't remember. I might look at the video later and go, "Oh crap, it was something else." But every box I've given her, she seems to have filled within a week. So she's got a box of. Let's have a look. Watch this. Yes, that's quite heavy. So I think this was filling with honey. So I'll just have a quick look. If there's brood in here, then like the one I've just done, I'll have to just do a proper check just to make sure that there's no queen cells up here. Yeah, so there is brood, and they are filling it with honey. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a quick check to make sure there's no queen cells up here. Oh, actually, I should go into the bottom box. I'm going to go into the bottom box first, because if there's queen cells up here, there could be queen cells down there, and she may have buggered off. So, but the brood's lovely. Looks great. Right. Let's take this off. Go on. Ah. 1, 2, 3. Ah. This is a minging super. They're doing stuff too, but they're not doing a lot. I might put that onto the queen excluder super. We'll see. Right, so I think this was the fresh brood box that I put on. I think I'll put that on there. stop the queen from getting around. And then let's have a look at the bottom. Yes, the bottom is full of bees. What I'm expecting to do now is just make sure there's some eggs here and just do a cursory check for some queen cells. So she's got loads of space now because of last week, so it won't be the space that will be leading her to swarm if she does want to swarm. So I'm already seeing eggs. This frame's laid up, it's got loads of larvae and no queen cells. It's good. Check one. Again, loads of larvae, loads of eggs. Beautiful, and no queen cells. Okay. I'll get to the middle. That's full of brood again. Look at that. That's a brood frame. Okay, and then another brood frame, fully capped. Yeah, no queen cells here either. Okay, last one. Yep, capped cells. Capped cells. Just queens doing ace. Okay, right, I'm gonna put this next box on. Let's have a quick look at what's going on in this one. So we've got some nectar in this one. Two seams not being used at all. Let's see what's going on in here. So the bees are mostly cleaning this up. Some nectar being stored in this one. And loads of eggs on this one. Loads and loads of eggs, geez. Queen might be on this. As I always say, it's not necessary to see the queen. It's always nice to see her though. As long as there's eggs, there's a queen. This is full of eggs as well, so she's definitely moved up here. They've done a good job cleaning it up here, so yeah, this queen's awesome. Right. See here. Right. I'm happy with that. Let's go through these supers and see if they've got any queen cells on them. Watch out. Go on, watch out. There we go. Right. So I don't think they're going to do anything with this super at all. Can't imagine them doing so anyway. Oh, it's too minging and it's too late in the season for them to do stuff. And there goes my hive tool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through these and just check for queen cells, because what I've done by accident is a kind of a demarray split. I've taken brood away from the queen and replaced it with a fresh box. And because the queen is away from the brood, the bees up here think, I can't smell the queen, she must have gone. Let's create our own queen. That's what they do. So we've got some queen cells here. See that? So we've got one there, and we've got another one there. So what we're going to do is just knock them down. This one's capped as well, so it's not good. This is why it's important to check your supers that have had brooding. Once all the brood's gone, put a mark on it, say, like I usually do the date or the year of the super, or rather the year it is when I'm going to be doing the honey spin, in the same colour as the queen as well, so usually like a green 24 this year. That means that you don't have to check it anymore. So what can happen is the queen can emerge and go downstairs, and they can fit through queen excluders for the most part. So I'll go downstairs and say, "Oi, what are you doing not swarming? I'm here." And the bees can swarm, or your amazing queen can be killed off. Wow, this queen is amazing. It's so hot today. Oh, quite nice in the shade over here. Oh, no queen cells. Come on, you bugger. Right. And this is just an empty frame. Okay. So. Squeeze that down. Okay, so there's no queen cells in the top boxes. The queen seems to be happy enough in the bottom. So I'm happy to close this up. And on to the next one. Quickly. Look at that. Right. So what had happened here was I'd combined this hive, well, the nuke to this hive, and I'd taken the queen away. They combined fine, but the queen was in the top box and all of these were just ignoring us. So I've swapped the boxes round. So the queen is now in the bottom box. So hopefully it won't be ignoring her. Super looks like it's got a few frames of honey in. That's good. Go from the bottom up, remember. So I think I'm gonna have to change my glove because otherwise a bee will fly in there and get confused and scared. So back in a sec. Right. So there shouldn't be any queen cells in these boxes because I think all the queen cells, I found them all last week. So we'll go and have a look. But this queen is down here, so we'll go and have a look at her first. That was right. So she was in a brood box that was filled with foundation. Ta-da. So the bees should have come down here and started drawing it out. And they are not, they're just chewing into it for some reason. I think the flow may have stopped here. So we're looking for the queen. Well, first of all, we're looking for eggs. There should be some eggs. Just happens I'm in the shade. Perfect. So interestingly, I can't find any eggs. So we're only on frame 2 of the 6-frame nuke that went in here, so don't be too worried about it yet. But there should be enough bees here that they should be aiding that queen. So there's loads of brood on this one. Loads of larvae and the eggs. I'm seeing eggs. I see some eggs. So yeah, there's a few eggs here. Very young larvae, so that means that the eggs have turned into larvae recently. No queen there. If in doubt, see if you can see the queen. It's such a small amount of bees down here. It's actually worth giving it a go. But not queen's cup. So I've just seen a queen cell. The queen cell here. A very small larvae. So let's see if there's any more eggs. So there's very young larvae here, so even if I do find queen cells and I knock them down, they'll be able to make another queen easily. So, I've seen eggs anyway. Not a lot of eggs. So I'm going to check these other frames. Just nectar and nectar. Well then, I'm not quite sure what's happened here. I wonder if they've created another queen cell at the top and just seen this queen off. But I can see some eggs. So she must be about somewhere. I just can't see her. She's just not doing as well as I was expecting her to be doing. Losing a lot of time. There's definitely eggs in there. So I've definitely seen eggs, but it's on one frame, a singular frame. So I'm not sure about that one. I don't know why there'd be a single frame of eggs when there's 6 frames and there's all these bees. This just might be one of those colonies. Sometimes you get a colony and no matter what you do, it just tries its best to die. You can keep giving it queens, you can let it create its own queens, you can do all sorts, and all they do is they just decide to die. There's queen cups. It just seems like you just can't do anything to help them. And usually with those hives, what you do is you just leave them alone, and they'll either sort themselves out, or unfortunately they pass away. But you can only do what you can do, and it's just the way some queens are. I don't know. Anyway, they've got loads of larvae. If they want to make a queen cell, then they can do. I'm a bit scuffed about that one. No idea what to do with it. Where's my smoker? Right, so what I want to do is I want to smoke these guys down, put the queen excluder back on, and we'll go through the frames and the top boxes. They could have found some more larvae that they could make a queen from, and they could just decided that they just don't want this queen. Seems some queen cells. So this box shouldn't have the queen in. Queen cup. Queen cell. I'm just checking in case there's eggs in there. No, there's definitely no eggs. These guys are almost completely broodless. I'm really confused by it. There's no swarm cells in here, or queen cells in here. I don't know. Just keep checking. I'll go through this quick, move on to the other ones. Sometimes, especially when you're in a commercial situation, or rather you're time is money or whatever. I think it's a very heartless way to think about things. But sometimes you just have to push yourself to say, look, if you're putting more time on a hive that does not want to survive than all the others, then something's wrong. So what I think I'm going to do is just close it up and just leave them to it and see what happens. Queen cells. Yes, there's no queen cells anywhere. Let's have a look at the super. Nothing. Honey. 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 Nothing honey. 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 Honey with a smattering of drone brood. It seems to be emerging. Good. Honey. A few queen cups, nothing to worry about. Honey with a smattering of drone brood again. Empty. Empty. Yep, so this one's absolutely flummoxed me. No idea what's going on with this one. Couldn't find the queen, can't see many eggs. I saw some eggs, but not many. So, yeah. Right, I'll come back to this one, see what's going on with it next week. Maybe the queen's started laying, or I don't know. That's gone. Oh, so this one, if I don't put me back out, my main goal is to check these supers for brood. Make sure there's no brood in it. Once there's no brood in it, I'm going to make a mark on it. The queen down here seemed to be pretty happy. I gave her another super just to keep her entertained. So yeah, I shook all the bees out of these supers. I just need to go through and make sure there's no queen cells like before. What's the best way of doing this now? Oh, the problem being a short horse. I need a step ladder or something. Ooh, you're on the other side of the apron. Oh, so you can see what's going on better than I can. Ah. Right. Smoker. I can smell me smoker, I can't see it. Left it over here. Ooh. Smoker's here. I need it. Keep it away from me so I don't smoke myself to death. Right. Right. So I'm going to be inspecting supers down here just because I cannot see up there. Too short. So what I'm going to do is just have a quick look. That's empty. That's got honey in it. No brood. Honey in, no brood. Let's see. Honey in, no brood. That's empty for some reason. Honey, no brood. Honey, no brood. Honey, no brood. Honey, no brood. And finally, mostly empty. Okay, so make a mark on that one. 24. 24. Doesn't help that it's green on green, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my silver pen instead. 24. Bit easier to see. Right. That's one super that's ready to go. That'll be next week, I think. I've got my dates right. Oh, this is another heavy one. Jesus. Oh, right, okay. Whew. Honey, honey, no brood. I think this is empty, empty. Honey, honey, Whoa. Honey with a smattering of drone brood, and same for the other side as well. So when it comes to extraction, I might have to just leave that one. So there's another way of doing it as well. If you want to get rid of the drone brood, you just damage the cell and the bees will get rid of the drones. Because sometimes these drones have actually died in the cells and the bees just forget about them, because the drones need to have the help of workers to be released. So if you go and damage the cells, the workers will remember that they're there. I'll clear them out for you. So I'll just do that quick. It's not very nice. I feel bad for the drones because they get a rough lot as it is, but it's a good way of clearing your super of drones. So just do that, maybe we'll clear it up. Food. Honey, smattering. Let's get rid of these ones. Honey. Oh, so they'll have got rid of those drones by next week, guaranteed. Right. Honey. Empty. I sod it. 24. Oh, right, next one. I'm not looking forward to these two brood boxes. Oh, burst my thumb again. These bloody gloves are rubbish. Oh, if you can, avoid getting cheap gloves. It's a bloody nightmare. I think this was a manky one that I asked them to fix. They've got honey in it already, so it's honey, not on that side. Honey, honey on that side as well. Honey, and then the other two are empty. So that's safe to go. 24. Right. Okay. Oh, this one's so heavy. Right. Oh my god. Oh, right. Okay. So this is going to be the majority of my honey pull this hive. It's a fair amount of weight. Yeah, that's honey. Got some drone brood. Just damage them, as I said. The bees will clear them out. Try if you can to pull them away from the honey. Doesn't make too much of a difference. The bees will clean it up, but it just helps them save some time. And I found a developed queen cup. So it looked like a queen cell, but it's not. It's just a queen cup that's dodgy. Right. Put it over there. That. Bad gloves. Whoop. It's just honey. Heavy frame of honey as well. Oh, this one as well. So we've got some worker brood here. Let's see what stage they're at. So the worker brood isn't at the stage where it's going to be released soon, so I'm going to have to destroy this worker brood. I'm sorry. I just feel really bad about this. But if you do this, then it means that the bees will clear them out. There's only one thing that they can get past the queen excluder with and do with the space afterwards. Actually, oh, sorry guys. Somebody's getting absolutely caked in propolis, and the finger is trying to escape as well. Sorry, drones. Oh, that looks like a queen cell, but it is indeed a queen cup. I've got 3 more supers to do after this next one. This brood box is very full. Very full. Oh, I've never seen. Look at that. Wow. Now that is a decent frame of honey. Oof. Oh, let's hope there's no more brood. No queen cells though, so that's positive. Some more brood here. Now there was a queen cell then. Some more brood down here. Honey. My back is killing me. Oh, right. Honey. Lovely frame of honey. Ow, you flipper. Oh, that one hurt. That was my own fault though. I think it got stuck. I think she got stuck on the propolis and panicked. Poor thing. Sorry, my dear. Honey. Unfortunately, this last one looks like it's mostly brood. How far along are you? Okay, so that's good. So this is... So what you can do is you can peel the caps off gently and just have a look what stage they're at underneath the pupae. And all of these bees are furry, so that means that they're going to be emerging this week. Phew! Right, let's push this forwards. Oh, get this in. Alright, and then we've got one more to do. Oh, ow. No, it's not as heavy as the other one, so it's good. Oh, 24. This is mostly just brood. Interesting. Okay, so I don't think this one is going to be a 24. I think this is just going to be on top. Yeah, so we've got some frames of honey. It's mostly brood though. So more likely to get queen cells in this one. Look. Can't see any queen cells. Can't see any queen cells. Torn that frame apart. There's a lovely frame of brood. No queen cells, fortunately. Let's see anyway. Good. Queen cells. Okay. Okay. Strong brood. Queen cells. Ah, it's a queen cell here. What's that off? It's always the drone frames that have the queen cells hidden on them. Always be very careful with drone brood frames. It's honey. That's honey as well. So this box has brooding mostly. So that means that this one here will not be getting a 24 on it because it has brooding. So a quick look, see how they're doing with this super that's stuck in. Yeah, so they're working on the super, but it's still minging, so they've still got space. Right, let's try and get this done. This next one's going to be really heavy. Where's my smoker? Right. Let's try and get these bees away. So because there's not much honey on this, and I won't be using it for honey, I'm not really worried about smoking it. I've got it away from the queen just to give the queen the appearance that she's not got as much brood as she thinks. Right, this one's going to be really heavy. Watch out, bees! Oh. Right. Maybe if you can find the corner, just slide it in, and hopefully the bees will move out of the way. 1, 2, 3. Watch out, bees! Watch out! And the final box. God. Right. Unfortunately, I've run out of time. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I've unfortunately not been able to check these 3 hives, but I'll do that tomorrow after work, so I don't have to worry about it too much. I didn't manage to get the queen rearing done like I wanted to. I was just running out of time, hit left, right and centre. I did manage to find out which of the hives had swarmed at the quarantine apiary, and I managed to make sure that there's not going to be any more swarm cells going off. I've put these gloves through the paces and they are just absolutely rubbish, but I guess they weren't really made for this sort of work. If you enjoyed this content, please hit the like button. If you want to see more of this content, please hit the subscribe button. But no matter what, I hope you have an amazing day. I'll see you guys soon. Bye bye.